It seems fit, before we get into the details of the Holy Week and its significance, to take a look at the Dar al-Hurra Palace, or the House of the Honest Lady. It was a rather modest house of the mother of the last Emir of Granada. She complained that her son had acted like a girl in losing his city, not that he had much alternative to do so. Internal rebellion and Ferdinand and Isabella's overwhelming forces in 1492 gave him little choice but to do a deal and go into retirement, taking his very annoyed and probably annoying mother with him. Certainly get your steps in here. The house was then given to Hernando de Savra, the Catholic monarch's secretary, who concluded the final treaties with the remaining Muslim nobility, who then departed for Morocco with what they could salvage of their wealth. In 1507, Isabella converted it into a Franciscan convent for nuns, and Granada's culture changed forever, with great theatrical displays of belief in the Christian religion and a rise in popularity of pork. I'll jump in here. Yes, I know it's a noise, but then it's supposed to be. All this is part of the beginning of the Easter story. This is the entry into Jerusalem of Jesus. And somewhere in all these clips you'll see someone waving palm leaves. As the procession goes on, you'll see and hear them getting more and more solemn. And then they end with a noisy finale of the resurrection. The Santa Semana Holy Week tradition started in the 16th century as a response to the Protestant Reformation. Of course, in Spain, with its Islamic history still fresh, the procession had to be holier and more extravagant than anyone else's. The organisation in charge of Holy Week were the Penitentiales, a group with roots in the 14th century flagellants, hence the covering of their heads with hoods and the occasional bare feet that you'll see if you look very closely. Most carry large candles. The dripping wax was a much sought after item by small children, who collected various strips to make wax balls. The bigger the better. The women in black were in mourning for Jesus. I was told that people on the parades weren't necessarily religious. Many did it just to help keep the tradition alive, much in the way people celebrate Christmas without necessarily being Christian. It is very important for various dignitaries to make a showing, though what political persuasions were preferred by the groups was hard to say. Lurking behind Spanish politics is still the shadow of the Civil War of the 1930s, so these people are as much about demonstrating communal unity as about faith in the Catholic Church. the parades bring out various statues illustrating parts of the Easter story. They take these from one church to a local cathedral to receive a blessing from somebody really important. These floats are called paso and weigh up to 6 tons. They're carried by costalero, who are rather short, stocky guys who do a lot of weight training by the looks of them, and they do it in shifts as the procession can take up to 6 hours to complete. And here we are, waiting for one of the groups to arrive with its paso for the blessing. And it's been a long day for these people. The red hats show that they belong to a different group from the blue hats. Though what the particular colour coding signifies is a bit of a mystery, though one suspects its mystery is perhaps rather mundane, as it rather makes it a lot easier for one to follow the right group and not end up with some other group and finding oneself having to walk a long way home after the event. The last paso in the parade is always the Virgin Mary. She is always on her own and surrounded by lit candles. As you can imagine, these candles have a tendency to get blown out as the day marches on. But not to worry, there is a man whose job it is to keep all the candles burning. He does this with a long stick with a lighter on the end, and he has to have a very steady hand and some sharp eyes. So ends today's parades, but there are more to come, as you will see in our next video. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget that this sequence of videos starts with, naturally, part 1 of our Spain in a train videos. And after Granada, we'll be going on to Seville. So don't forget to watch all of these, like them, subscribe them, and oh yes, share them. So, see you next time.